Want to find something cheap? Want to go into any school storage closet and find something for free? Well, that's an obsolete technology. It had a great run through the 1980s and 1990s. It was the king of technology for the classroom and other presentations. What am I talking about? The overhead, of course. The overhead had revolutionized the use of an electronic device. No more dusty old chalkboards to wash. It did a great job. It looked cleaner and took up less space since the screen could be lifted and retrieved as needed. It allowed for storage of materials for later use. So what went wrong or right? The usefulness of technology can be determined by a model called McLuhan's Tetrad. It asks these four questions. What does the medium enhance? What does the medium make obsolete? What does the medium retrieve that has been earlier obsoleted? What does the medium flip into when pushed to its extremes? As the overhead emerged into the classroom, it took the place of the blackboard and worked in conjunction with the whiteboard once it was invented. Teachers at Varennes Academy of Communications and Technology are no longer using the overhead projector because we have smartboards. Smartboards are an easy installation and continually upgrade as more innovations are found. This emerging technology requires no erasable pens and writes in multiple colors with a mock pen or even your finger. They allow the user to organize materials and link them right to the lesson plan. Teachers quickly decided that this technology could enhance teaching and saw how it motivated student learning. Several of my distinguished colleagues graciously gave me permission to interview them and their answer to the question, what do you think is the most important emerging technology in our district?
The smartboard would definitely have to be the most emerging technology in our district. We are fortunate enough as a Title I school to have it in every classroom, but that's not the story for the other schools in our district who are not Title I schools. So as we're competing against Xboxes and PlayStations, we're able to compete against those things in the classroom by having smartboards in every classroom.
I would say not necessarily one product, but I would say the interactive tools we use in our classrooms, the interactive whiteboards, the Centio allowing the children to put the clickers in their hands and actually answer questions, the wireless slate allows the children to actually sit at their desk and draw on the interactive whiteboard. So
I think the most emerging technology in our school and district is the airliner slate that the teachers have in their classroom.
Okay, what can the students do with this slate, or the teachers?
It's a slate that the teacher carries in her hand, and it has a pen with it. It gives the teacher more mobility. She gets her off of the board, away from the board. The students can actually take the slate and solve a problem on that slate, which shows on our classroom smartboard.
What do you think it replaced or made obsolete? Responses were similar, but surprisingly, no one said the overhead. Let's look at the clips at exactly what they said.
Thank you. What do you think it replaced or made obsolete?
It's replacing the whiteboard, and of course the whiteboards replace the chalkboard. So the smartboard again gives us an opportunity to allow the kids to be interactive, unlike your chalkboard or unlike your whiteboard.
of course the interactive whiteboards replace the old chalk blackboard. I mean, that's one of the tools. I think the whiteboard as a whole, again, is becoming an obsolete tool in our school, at least because of the interactive whiteboards.
It replaces the fact that students have to get up and go to the board, and it gives the teacher more mobility. The teacher doesn't have to stand at the board, so it gives the teacher more mobility to work with children in groups as the lesson is being presented on the board at the same time.
Okay, thank you.
Well, let's jump into the DeLorean and go back in time to discover why the overhead ended up in the closet. Finally, something with displays large enough to see. Overheads required no computer, but the bulb continuously needed replaced. Overheads looked cleaner than the blackboard, but required a cleaning solution and messy cloths to clean them. 6 forces of the obsolete technology, the overhead. The overhead's rhyme of history is the wall writing of the blackboard. Even further back is the hieroglyphics on walls of the pyramid. The overhead projector was written on and then displayed through mirrors onto the wall, just as the blackboards, whiteboards, and hieroglyphics. They were meant as a means of communicating with others. Star Trek, Lost in Space, Battlestar Galactica. All catalyst for what? Technology. From traveling into the depths of Earth to traveling to Mars, science fiction has had a tremendous influence. Many of the science fiction technologies showed a display on a screen. Was the overhead a disruptive technology? According to Thornburg, the overhead was not a disruptive technology because it allowed for a gradual evolution of technology into the workplace. Overheads do qualify as an increasing returns technology because there was no competition at the time the overheads took the scene. There were, however, many companies that soon started manufacturing them. The red queens do not apply to the overhead because the overhead had no competitors and stayed as the technology of the time throughout the 1980s and 1990s. The whiteboard was being used in conjunction with the overhead once it was developed. Dr. Soloway stated that to address the leveling of the playing field is to eliminate the digital divide by putting the internet access on cell phones. The overhead did not decrease the digital divide because it did not have the capability to connect us to the other countries. Now back to the future, back to the use of the smartboard. 6 forces of emerging technology, the smartboard. Smartboards don't need ink, so no ink on your hands. They don't need transparency, so no need for storage bins. They have interactive movement of pieces embedded in the presentation, so no need for fumbling for over. They enhance objects to the appearance of 3D. They are connected to the computer and have a chip. Wonderful! They were the next logical progression. Smartboards continue to evolve, and with each new development, they become better and more reasonable to purchase. According to Thornburg, this is the law established by Moore. Again, the rhyme of history for the smartboard is the wall writing of the whiteboard and the blackboard, and the hieroglyphics. The abyss, contact, deep impact, red planet, primer. Many of the science fiction technologies showed a display that was on a raised and sometimes interactive screen, such as the smartboard. Was the smartboard a disruptive technology? According to Thornburg, the smartboard was not a disruptive technology because it allowed for a gradual evolution of technology into the workplace. It is actually a combination of both the overhead and the whiteboard. Smartboards were the forerunner of the interactive whiteboard. However, they do not qualify as an increasing returns technology because there are many other interactive whiteboards in existence on or about the time the smart technologies took the scene. Different companies have came out with versions of the interactive whiteboard. The Red Queens in this situation has been the Smartboard versus the Promethean project. North of us in Pickens County, the Promethean project has taken hold. It is competing to outdo the smartboard in our district at Anderson District 5. These two technologies came into being about the same time and are trying to infiltrate the school systems all over the United States. Watch out for them because they are two powerful technologies. Dr. Soloway stated to address the level of the playing field is to eliminate the digital divide. This can happen with the interactive smartboard. You can display Skype capabilities of virtual field trips right on the smartboard. Students can learn from others about their customs and learn tolerance for others' cultures in the process. Colleagues during the interview were asked, how do you think our technology can be improved?
Technology can be improved by continuing to create lessons that are just not fancy, pretty lessons because of technology, but actually if we were able to use technology as a way to increase student achievement. A lot of times teachers have lessons that it's just a PowerPoint or it's just something that has a lot of nice looking clip art, but when it comes to instruction and student achievement, it's not doing anything. So we need to continue to implement technology lessons that's going to garner higher student achievement.
Okay, thank
Well, here at our school, we take pride in actually putting the technology in the hands of the students. I think more training for our teachers to learn techniques as far as putting that technology in the hands of the students and supporting our state curriculum. I think that those two things would probably go hand in hand.
I feel like our technology at our particular school can be improved is with training and staying more current and staying on top of what's the newest and latest edition of everything.
Okay, thank you. What do you think the future of technology might be through the school district, nation?
Being a teacher is kind of scary to say. However, I feel like that the future will be at home. Children will be doing school at home online because the way technology is going and the curriculums that are out there already, I feel like our students will be doing school at home, elementary, middle, and high school.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
I think that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Colleagues during their interview were asked, what do you think is the future of technology?
Well, that's beyond our imagination. One thing that I can definitely see is seeing the textbook replaced by iPads. That would be great. And as we come to the budget situations, technology may be a way to assist us in with our budget crisis. So I see smart boards taking place. I see virtual classrooms, virtual virtual field trips. The list goes on, and I cannot imagine what's going to happen. But I'm excited about the journey, and as a school of technology, I want to be one of the schools leading the way towards our destination with more technology in the classroom.
I may ruffle some feathers here, but to me, I see more things like the school or the high school recently that had the one teacher, and instead of hiring two other teachers, allowed the teacher to teach all three classes from her office and had a virtual classroom, for lack of better words, in the high school, teaching the same class to three different classrooms. I see things like that becoming more of an option down the road, and possibly virtual schools such as like the virtual high school, things like that. I see that becoming more of an option down the road.
Holographic images are on the horizon. Soon, I'm sure that the interaction of students will be in the form of a projective images to which students can use for interaction. They will be immersed not only with the computer, but also with the big screen television, reducing the digital divide.
Would you please state your name, position, and school?
Yes, my name is Leonard Galloway. I'm the principal here at Verenas Academy of Communications and Technology.
Hey,
Hello.
would you please tell me your position and your job description and where you work?
I am Danny Frady. I'm the videographer at Verenas Academy of Communications and Technology. I basically take care of all the technology for our school. It is a technology magnet school, so my position was created to help the theme school status.
Thank you. Would you please state your position in school?
Okay, my name is Vicki Powell, and I teach 4th grade at Verenas Academy of Communications and Technology.